Arras is up in the air for the Skybet Great Voltager. And they're off and racing. Mount Kilimanjaro, just a little bit sleepy from the stalls. Out well is Lambourne, who's gunned to the front, and going with him is Thrice. So the setup immediately apparent. It's Thrice who's going to set the pace, and Lambourne will be ridden forward. Stay True races in third on the outside of Karma's. More conservatively ridden Mount Kilimanjaro, grey jacket, white face, then Pride of Arras. And the other white-faced horse is Arabian Force, as Mount Kilimanjaro just pops over the path, hurdle style, and now they settle into their rhythm. Thrice it is who cuts out the pace, leading by a length. It's not frenetic. Lambourne sitting in second, a length off the leader. In third place is Karma's on the inside in the purple jacket of Stay True in maroon and blue. Then behind those, Pride of Arras in the pale colours, just ahead of Mount Kilimanjaro and Arabian Force. Both of them ridden more quietly, as Thrice, just settling into steady fractions, works down the side of the course. Lambourne and Orion Moore being kept off the running rail, clear daylight in front, but he is a horse that settles well, and he's sitting quietly in second at the moment. In third place races Karma's, who is just ahead of Stay True, Mount Kilimanjaro, Pride of Arras, and last of all is Arabian Force. So nearly a 13.5-second furlong round the bend, and Thrice with Lambourne poised to take it up when he desires. Not yet, it would appear. Then Stay True on the outside of Karma's, Mount Kilimanjaro on the inside of Pride of Arras, and last of all is Arabian Force. And now Thrice is just asked to stretch on the turn into the straight. Ryan Moore, as Adele said, just moving through the gears now on Lambourne in second place as the tempo lifts. Stay True comes next. Karma's is also now being ridden along. Pride of Arras, Mount Kilimanjaro and Arabian Force will have to thread their way through traffic. Thrice has done a good job in towing Lambourne into the race, but at this stage, stable companion Stay True going every bit as well. Karma's comes next. Mount Kilimanjaro will try and go up the running rail. Then Pride of Arras and Arabian Force. Lambourne now having to dig in. Stay True. Mount Kilimanjaro still having to thread the passage on the inside with Pride of Arras, and Karma's. Lambourne grinding it out with Stay True. Pride of Arras trying to get his career back on track. He's throwing his cap into the ring. Then Karma's. It is Dower out in front. Stay True's heading Lambourne and Pride of Arras down the outside. Then Karma's and Arabian Force, and it is Pride of Arras for Rossa, who has fought his way to the front in the Voltager. At the scene of the Dante, it went wrong after that in the derbies. He is back. Close for second, Karma's Arabian Force. Then in fourth place, Stay True. Lambourne only fifth, Mount Kilimanjaro and Thrice. Well, Pride of Arras will not be going to the ledger because he was gelded after 2 below par runs in the Dante, which had looked like really average form until the last couple of weeks when Damasus won in France and Wimbledon Hawkeye ran really well at Goodwood. And Pride of Arras has got his career back on track, over 1.5 miles. Second looks to just go to Karma's ahead of Arabian Force and Stay True. And Lambourne was outpaced, beaten by a lot of horses in fifth place, but he did beat the other two, Mount Kilimanjaro and Thrice from his stable. Goes to Pride of Arras. Rossa, Rafe Beckett will mean a lot to the Ackroyds, and just up the road they've tasted success again on the Knavesmire.
Yes, you remember Francesca went to see Vimy after that Dante win ahead of the Derby. It must have been such a disappointment. Fair play, great shout, Francesca. Very much back in business.
I know, he's gone off at what, 12-1 here. It's so tempting to write horses off, isn't it? I mean, to be fair, he was well beaten in the Derby, same in the Irish Derby, but they then took him home. He's had 52 days off the track, gelded in the meantime. And I did hear Rafe Beckett saying he's done everything right at home. I thought he looked good in the paddock. I think they probably went a fairly decent tempo. He obviously likes York, having won the Dante here. And it looks like his career is firmly back on track.
Just going through the gears, watch as they start to go up. Wayne Lorden realises that something's coming up on his outside, and when he changes gear and decides to go and throw the kitchen sink at Stay True, horses over this trip, they don't really change gear massively, and Pride of Arras and that one smooth long run down the outside, persistence has paid off because he looked spectacular in the Dante. He then has been beaten miles, 50 lengths behind Lambourne and 20 lengths behind him at the Curragh. That's a huge turnaround.
Gelded, and it's worked. Any excuses for Lambourne, or was he just vulnerable, as Ruby explained?
Yeah, he's in the right spot, wasn't he? They were going sort of a nice, smooth, even tempo, but no, once push came to shove, all right, you can say he's got the £5 penalty, but he's been beaten fair and square.
It's another slow time just like Richard reported the first couple of races with the headwind, and they did look like they were finishing slow.
We need to find out off our jockey here, don't we? Because Jockey's in the opener said it's a lot of water on there, kicking the top off.
I spoke to Rossa after the Dante about this horse. The way you spoke about it was with real belief in this horse's ability. There's been obviously a significant change since then. He's had the gelding operation, but he's done there what you've always thought he could do, Rossa. Is that fair?
That's fair, yeah. Do you know what? I'd say maybe Epsom and the Irish Derby just might have got to him a small bit. It took the wise approach to geld him, and it's just got him to drop the bit early. Along with Cardosa, I think rides him out every day, so I think a lot of this has to go down to the lads at home. They've done a wonderful job with him, and it's just good to see him back on a level playing field, and you can see what he can do. And York might be the place for him, but everything just went smoothly. I was behind the bridle the whole way, and yeah, it was lovely.
Did you always retain your belief in him?
I won't lie, it kind of dimmed a small bit. But I suppose form is temporary and class is permanent, and he showed that in the Dante, so we'll see.
Well done.
And there is Vimy Aykroyd leading in her Pride and Joy. Pride of Arras, won at 12 to 1 in the end. Is that you nibbled up the bigger prices there, Francesca?
I wish I had.
There you do. Karma's was second at 11 to 2 in an attritional race in the end. Pride of Arras on Race IQ, the fastest horse in the race, the only horse to break 40 miles an hour. Ruby, those front two were vulnerable in the end.
Yeah, and look,